I guess October is like the jobs that I will never ever do month. I mean, astronauts? No, thank you. African boating? Captain Phillips is directed by Paul Greengrass, the director of United 93, Born Supremacy, Born Ultimatum, and Green Zone. It stars Tom Hanks, who is a certified awesome person, and he's probably one of my favorite actors out there. In fact, he definitely is. And this is the true story of a boating captain, played by Hanks, that's traveling around the African coast, that's taken over by real-life, modern-day pirates, and the thrilling situation that ensues afterwards. And we're not talking about pirates in the fun sense of the word, where they get on board and they're like, "Why is all the rum gone?" It's more like a bunch of savage men who will kill you instantly without a shred of humanity. Actually, that is kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean pirates. It's more serious is what I'm trying to say. Now, Paul Greengrass to me is one of the only directors out there who uses handheld shaky cam and makes it look like an art form and not a gimmick. He is extremely good at using that form of filmmaking to enhance his films, and he does a great job with Captain Phillips. I think this is one of his best films. I think this is one of the best performances I've seen from Tom Hanks, which is saying a lot because that man has 2 Oscars already. The man seriously brought real flowing man tears to my eyes in this movie. He did such a terrific job with his performance. It's the kind of performance that is so brave that you don't see this type of thing in film too often. Because for a large portion of the movie, it really is like a straight thriller, and it's excellent at doing that. But there is a portion of the movie that gets very dramatically heavy that just really affected me, and I gotta say, Captain Phillips is one of the best films I've seen this year. For a strict thriller that is weighted by a terrific performance, this movie does everything it sets out to do very well. This isn't the type of film that has hidden meanings and hidden metaphors and all these various things you could take from it. This is a film that tells a true story fairly accurately. I've done some research on it, and I've realized that there are certain things that they omitted, and the filmmakers have been completely open about certain things that were omitted. They're not trying to hide it. They got the essence of what happened very correct, in my opinion, and I think that the filmmakers, the writers, and the actors did such a great job at portraying a sense of realism, and that's one of the best things that Paul Greengrass brings to movies, is a real sense of an environment that feels as if it's palpable, that you're actually there. You could feel the heat and the sweat of the situation. And that's something I really enjoyed about Captain Phillips. And that only comes from people who know how to make a film and who know how to act in a scene and inhabit a character. And speaking of that, the men who play the pirates I thought were fantastic, and I believe this was all of their first performances, which is really impressive because I honestly believe, like, you're looking at these guys and you're like, it's not just the makeup and the clothing. These guys felt like savages, and they did such a terrific job at portraying real-life modern-day pirates that I honestly believe they were, and that is really impressive for people who are in their very first movie ever and who are obviously new to the situation, and they're just in a scene with Tom Hanks, and you got to intimidate Tom Hanks with your gun, so do it. These guys did such a great job, and I was just completely impressed all around with the performances in this film. Tom Hanks is at that point in his career where it's hard to not see Tom Hanks. You know, there are certain actors out there that are very good at what they do, but they're so famous that it's very difficult to be like, that's Tom Hanks, that's Tom Cruise. Apparently, Toms are very famous. But this movie was so well made and so realistic that I bought into that person and I started to care about that character, not just because Tom Hanks is an awesome, likable guy. I cared about the character, and that is what you need in a good movie, because you can have a terrific thriller, you can have a fun movie, but if you don't care about the central character or any of the characters, none of that's going to matter. And Captain Phillips is a movie that makes you care, and that's one of the reasons why I was thrilled from start to finish in this film. I think it's one of the better films that came out this year. I'm going to give it an A-. I think the only issues with the film that I really had were it might be a tad too long. But I think that they did a terrific job with everything they could have done, and I really enjoyed the movie. So guys, I hope you see the film when it comes out, and let me know what you thought of it below if you have seen it. Thanks as always for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.